The Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra has been wowing audiences for decades, and this season promises more of the same. An added twist to the DSSO's new season is what is being billed as a quest for a new conductor for the orchestra. 5 conductor candidates will have an opportunity to lead the DSSO in what amounts to an audition before a live audience. Well, joining us now is Dirk Meyer, the guest conductor for the weekend's show Dazzling Endings, and Erin Aldridge is the DSSO's concertmaster and violinist, who will be the featured performer Saturday. And thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate you taking time out of your week. Dirk, this has to be an exciting opportunity for you.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. It's huge, absolutely. You know, anytime you go somewhere new, you work with a new orchestra, it's always an exciting thing. But of course, if you go to audition somewhere, it's it's an added dimension. Certainly, you want to be on top of your game, and you want to bring your A game, and you just want to make a good impression, and yeah, just make great music with the orchestra.
Is this an unusual approach for a community to bring conductors in to audition for a position like that, or is it something that other communities have tried? Erin, maybe you know that.
I think it's been pretty. I think it's pretty standard to bring in conductors and to try out the position. It's been posted nationwide, and we had over, I believe it was 160 applications. Wow. And it's been narrowed down to 5 excellent candidates. We're excited to work with each one of them, and of course Dirk is here for this concert, so we're very excited about that.
Dirk, this is a live audition. How do you feel about that?
I don't know it any different. And that goes That goes back to your question. Every time I've gone anywhere to get any position, that's what you do. You go and work with the orchestra, and it usually always ends in a live concert. So it is an audition in front of a live audience. But it's really, for an orchestra, it's really the only way that they can really evaluate you as a musician and conductor. Just watching you on a tape is just not the same as seeing you live in action.
Yeah. And how is this process for the musicians? Do you have a big say in which conductor is chosen at the end of the day?
Well, certainly we have a say. We have evaluations that we fill out, and we're able to talk about it and discuss. There's lots of factors that go into it, but of course the musician response is one of the big factors that goes into it, as well as community response, and from the board and from the front office and all aspects of the symphony.
Erin, correct me if I'm wrong, you're first chair violinist?
Correct.
Do you feel that you can either make or break the person who is applying for this position?
She could. Let me answer that question for her.
Maybe I should ask her. How do you feel about this? This is pretty weighty.
It is, and regardless of who comes in, I feel it's my position and it's my duty to do the best that I possibly can and give them the best opportunity to do the best that they can. They can do, but yeah, there's
pressure's
a little.
On you, isn't it?
The pressure definitely is on me to help because it's a quick turnaround. We didn't meet each other. We've met each other through the process, but we haven't met each other prior to that. So it's developing a really quick relationship, and then being able to translate that on the stage.
Is it difficult to kind of adjust and change your playing to the different conductors' styles?
I think it's not so much that I'm going to change my playing. I try to pick up as fast as I can what I think their style may be, and of course I get feedback, and if they need me to do something, then of course I'll do it. But part of it is being perceptive and trying to almost, I don't know if it's second guess, but trying to second guess a little bit what they might want.
Yeah. So. Dirk, what can you bring to DSSO?
Oh, what a question. I hope great musicianship and exciting performances. That's the main thing. On the podium, of course. I mean, there's so many other things that are part of the job of a conductor that have nothing to do with podium time at all, or even working with musicians. There's many other things which. That's all part of the audition process that the organization wants to find out how you behave in certain situations. But obviously, the most important thing is always the music, and so I hope to bring a young, fresh approach, and just deliver a really high quality, top-notch performance.
What are your impressions so far of the orchestra itself?
I've met almost everybody on staff, I think. I've met Erin, of course, and a few other musicians, and I have not yet worked with the orchestra. So that's going to be tonight, the first time, and that'll be, you know, very, very exciting. But everybody I've met so far, I have a great impression. You know, everybody's really on top of their game, very nice people, and what else can you ask for?
So are all symphony orchestras the same, or is there a different demeanor amongst them?
Oh, there is a very different demeanor. You know, I've worked with orchestras that are really easy to work with. I've worked with orchestras that are very difficult to work with, and it all depends. I think that there's a personality to each group of musicians, and I think the first couple of minutes that a new conductor steps on the podium, that's when the group somehow will decide, do we like this guy or don't we like this guy?
Butterflies.
Yeah, talk about butterflies, exactly. And, you know, so that really decides how the interaction is going to be, you know, and it can really influence your perception of, you know, is this a fun group to work with or is that not a fun group to work with?
Speaking of butterflies, you're going to be the soloist.
Yes,
do
you
you
are.
get butterflies before a big performance like this? What kind of preparation,
course.
mentally and as a musician, do you go through?
A lot of both. Yeah, of course you get butterflies. I think very few musicians, I think when I was younger I used to say, I don't get nervous, but I think nerves are healthy and it pumps you up for the performance. Already this week I'm feeling really excited to play. The preparation starts I've been working on this concerto for many, many months now. For me, it's a new piece. It's a new concerto. I've been lucky enough to perform with the symphony before, and those concertos were ones that I've already played, and I knew this is brand new. So that brings a whole new aspect and lots of time in the practice room. Even learning the score, because when you play with orchestra, you have to be able to know what's going on behind you and when, you know, what instruments you're with and trying to time that. And then, you know, getting a little historical perspective, and it kind of goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And we're viewing some video right now of a performance that you did back in 2009 at Tchaikovsky, I believe.
Yep, that's from the Tchaikovsky.
All right. Dirk, talk about the whole program itself this weekend, what people will feel, hear, experience.
The reason why I like this Saturday's program a lot is because it really gives you a huge dimension of classical music, and, you know, of what classical music should be. It should, you know, talk to you in an emotional way, really. And so the variety we have on this program is huge, from a really funny and witty overture, Mozart's Marriage of Figaro, very short but a good wake-up overture, to a wonderful, one of the great concerti in the repertoire, the Beethoven Violin Concerto that Erin's going to play. And in the second half, we have the Prokofiev Symphony No. 5, one of, I think, the greatest works in the symphonic repertoire, which is really, you know, he used to describe it as, you know, his homage to humankind and the human spirit, and it really encompasses everything you can think of, really, you know.
I'm going to put this question to both of you. You've been working on this since May. Do you feel ready?
You go first.
I feel ready. I'm ready to go. I'm very excited. It's always it's fun and nerve-wracking and everything tied up into one when you're soloing and you're in front. But it's been I've been waiting a long time to play, and I'm ready to go.
It has to take a huge depth of concentration while you're up there to not be distracted by all of the things that are going on.
Absolutely, and it's very easy to get distracted, and it's very easy, you know, you're playing and you know the music and you've gone over it, you know, hundreds of times, but even this is from when I was a little kid. I'm always the one looking out, you know, and I've gotten better as I got older, but, you know, it's still, for me, you know, you have to really, you know, I have to practice concentration for me to really do that, but you also want to be in the moment.
And Dirk, I'm waiting for your answer.
You know, the longer you study something, the more you feel ready, and the more you know the music, and the more comfortable you are doing it, and that's really all you can do. And if you're really ready, you will know as soon as you stand in front of the orchestra and start conducting. I would say, you know, I've, as you mentioned before, I've been working on this since May, so I know the scores very well. So yes, I'm going to say I'm 100% ready, but we'll find out tonight.
Sure. You know, the thing is, the audience here in Duluth Superior and the surrounding area, they love the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra. Big crowds, they appreciate the music. What you are going to be undertaking is something that is going to be remembered for a long time, not only by the two of you, no matter how this turns out, but by the crowd.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's I think the purpose of live performance.
And I would say this area, I don't know if I've ever seen another area with more supportive fan base and supportive people for the symphony. I have colleagues and friends, and you know, we've had guest artists that have come in who have commented, who have been blown away by the reaction and the support. So it's really, I feel very lucky as a musician
Wonderful.
to have that.
And the caliber of the musicians is very high too. Are most of the members of the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra full-time professional musicians, or are a lot of them just doing this because they love it?
A little bit of both.
You're a professor.
Yeah, I'm in music, but I have a lot of my colleagues in the symphony who have other jobs by day and have the passion and love and the talent to keep playing by night. And so, and there are several of us that are, you know, professional. We teach at the middle school or high school level or college level for, in my case. And we have those, you know, we have some that are bankers and, you know, businessmen and businesswomen. So it's a
We
plethora.
appreciate your time.
All right. Well, Dirk Meyer, Erin Aldridge, good luck with Dazzling Endings this Saturday night, and thank you for coming in and sharing some information, and good luck in your quest.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.